Recording in progress.
I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of record a quick video. I just recently met with a church, I was on Zoom meeting them over line and just kind of went through how once a church that says, we want to do this, and they've picked a date for the Made to Multiply Gospel Conversation training. And so I wrote up something. I'm actually in the process of typing it up, but what I do on the front end to kind of get things lined up for the pre-rollout and other things, and then for expectations after the the training on that Sunday or Saturday. This church actually is doing it all day Sunday, which is kind of interesting. But let me just show you the document I use as I walk them through kind of step by step. I've actually written it out. And so this might help you in how I approach in churches in a systematic way to know exactly what they're getting into. So this is a document. It's real. I'll kind of walk you through it here. Well, the first thing I do is I identify a Made to Multiply training date, or gospel conversation training. Now, they're actually doing it on a Sunday, July 30th, 8:45 to 3 p.m. They're literally taking that Sunday, which is really, I've not done an all day Sunday one, but they feel like they're going to get the most amount of participation on that Sunday. And so we've established that. So that's a key thing. Once that is in the ground, everything kind of revolves around that date. So the next thing I say is we got to identify a pre-rollout team. And there's actually a handout or another document that I have that I sent them. It's just the language for recruiting the pre-rollout team. What do I say and things like that. And so that's the next thing they have to do is identify a pre-rollout team, the people they would like. And they also, I think, are putting the invite out to the whole church. And so how you do that is also a little nuance, like, what are we getting into? So there's actually a document, the language I use. Some churches use it as just kind of like an R&D, research and development, discipleship, evangelism group that's checking out something new, kind of like a skunk works, so to speak. And so there's lots of creative ways you can recruit people for this team, but that's a critical group. And so there's a lot that has to go into that. So once they identify that group, or kind of, then they start identifying the times and dates which this group is going to begin to meet. And you always want to back up about 7 to 8 weeks from this July 30th date. All right. And it's going to take about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes each time. Sometimes it gets done a little quicker, but I'm telling them, and again, these times and dates are generally going to be on a weeknight. And so that's if you're going to equip people. And then I go, just to kind of, this kind of goes with number two, is like, what are we training these people on? And so I go back over that again. A simple reproducible discipleship pattern that can be usually used in a group or one-on-one. That's it's obviously the 3/3. How to engage people with prayer and a simple gospel tool. That's kind of the harvest piece and the three circles. Um, and then this last piece down here is we're going to train them on basically two simple discipleship lessons. When someone says yes to the gospel, 411 commands of Christ, just walk through that again. But that's part of that's not necessarily what these people need to know, but it can obviously help. And then the next thing I do is we just jump into number 5, about week 5 of the pre-rollout. Um, we want to start to identify the areas around the church we're going to engage on that Saturday or Sunday. About week 6 or 7 of the pre-rollout, I encourage the church to have a church-wide prayer or fasting over the area they're going to engage. Let me write that in there. And so again, these are also what's happening during this time is we're training the pre-rollout. Hopefully we're finding our we will be finding our trainers and maybe the group. Week 8 is the Made to Multiply. That Saturday or Sunday, just briefly go. We're going to train in the morning, go out, and then come back and train. Everybody's invited, 9 years old and up, and your people do the bulk of the training on that day from the pre-rollout team. And then I talk about next steps, coaching, an ongoing harvest time, right? A new group that starts up using the pattern, this new pattern of discipleship, the 3/3. And also people coming out of this training can drop into this group and learn more. And then we schedule another Made to Multiply training on a Saturday. Well, this church doing I think every fifth Sunday they want to do this training at their church. So there's 3 fifth Sundays a year. So anyway, that's kind of what I go through. I'm fine tuning that a little bit. So after they've agreed, this is kind of the next steps. If you have any questions, I'm sure I will tighten this up and formalize it. But those are once a church identifies the dates, I kind of just have another meeting or they identify the training Made to Multiply. Then I walk through that process so they know exactly what they're going into. I email it to them. And then we just keep walking through it and reminding them of those dates and times. I hope this helps. If not, then just delete the email or the video.